Hello everybody, and thank you for joining me. This is Ciara from Ciara T Designs, and today I have this really fun project to share with you. So let's jump right in. So I am going to start by cutting down my cardstock, or my pattern paper. I have the Paper Rose Enchanting Christmas 12x12 paper here, and now this is, I wouldn't say an older paper pad, but it's been out for a little bit, so some places don't have it anymore, but I did find it on scrapbook.com. So if you are interested in this paper pad, they do still have it, but I did see in Simon it was sold out. But I mean, your local crafty store might have it as well. And I'm going to cut this down. So you're going to see me cut it to 9.5. I changed my mind after I cut it, and I'm going to cut them all down to 9 inches. I do that off screen, so you're not going to see me do it. But first, I cut off the little bit at the bottom that tells you what paper it is, because it's 13 inches with that, or just shy of. So I cut that piece off first, and then I go back and cut it at the 9.5 inch mark. And then later I decided that I actually want it to be at the 9 inch mark. So I am going to do these all 9x12. So that is what I'm actually cutting my cardstock to. You did not get a face intro for this video because I underestimated how long this project was actually going to take me, and it's not going to be completed in this video. So this is going to be part 1 of, I don't know how many videos yet because I have not finished this project. But let's fold this and then I'll talk a little more about that. So we are creating I'm going to call it a waterfall. You can call it an album if you're going to add pictures, or a journal if you wanted to write in it, whatever you want to call it. But it is the waterfall because each layer is slightly shorter than the other. So you get this really cool waterfall effect. This is not my original idea. Actually, one of the local ladies did one of these albums like 2 years ago, and I asked if I could borrow the idea for this Christmas make, and she said absolutely. So thank you so much, Jeanette. I really appreciate it. But this is, I don't know if it's her original idea either, but this is where I saw this. So you just see me score my 4 pieces of 12x9 cardstock, and I'm going to call it cardstock. I know it's pattern paper, but I'm calling it cardstock. And I scored at, the front cover is at 8 inches, and then 7.5, 7, and 6.5. So you're going to get this really cool waterfall effect. And then we're going to do something later that kind of helps that little bit of a gap in the middle of the 4 sheets. But first we're going to bind these. So I did bring in my binder clips after I'd scored them and kind of put them together. And I don't know if the stitch that I'm going to do has any kind of official name. I kind of just made this up because this is what I wanted it to look like. But there are so many stitching videos out there that if you're looking for a specific stitch, you could absolutely do that. And again, I'm not going to measure anything. I'm just going to poke a bunch of holes because that's how I roll. And I'm kind of aiming to be even-ish. I am going to do 4 holes. So I'm going to do 1 at the top and the bottom, about 2-ish inches from the top and the bottom, give or take. Honestly, you guys, I didn't measure. I just kind of eyeballed it. And then I'm going to do 2 in the center, fairly close together. There's no real rhyme or reason. You see me here kind of trying to decide what lines I want to score on. Honestly, for this, it's probably about, I don't even know, the same distance from the top as it is in the center-ish. I'm sorry, I don't have more exact measurements for you. If you really want me to, I can go and measure this. So leave me a comment if you want to know the exact measurements I did for my holes, but there was no real rhyme or reason. And then I just pulled a bunch of Crinkle ribbon. This is a Tim Holtz product that I don't think you can get anymore, but any ribbon would work for this. I just happen to have some of this on hand, and I'm trying to use it because you guys know I'm a big believer in using what you have, and that's what I'm going to use to actually bind it. Now you could use thread, you could use whatever you like. I wanted to use ribbon, so that's what I'm going to use. And I went through the 2 outside holes from the outside, and then on the inside I'm going to go back through the 2 center holes, and then I'm going to tie a bow on the outside. I have no idea if this is a real stitch. A real binding method. This is just what I wanted to do because I thought it looked really pretty, and it holds it, so it works out perfectly. But there is so many ways to bind, and we're going to explore some of those in 2024. I really want to make some books, so we will explore some more named stitching methods. This is just me kind of playing around because I really wanted the bow to be on the outside. So this is just what I created for this, but there's no right or wrong way. And then I'm going to make a knot. That's what I'm doing here. And I did pull it tight, not so tight that my pages can't flip easily, but tight enough that it will all stay together. And then I can remove the binder clips, and we have a bound, whatever you want to call it, album, journal, whatever. And it looks pretty cool. So I'll give you a quick flip through to see what all those papers look like. And now we're going to create the front page. And I, as I said, really misjudged how long this project would take me. This video, as you guys can see, is 15 minutes. And this is, I'd say at least, I don't even know, this might have taken me about 2 hours, I think, give or take. But I stop. Sometimes I stop to go make a cup of tea or whatever. So I don't know how long exactly this whole process took me, like cutting the cardstock, stitching it together, all of that. So I can't give you an actual estimate, but this 15-minute video took me, a fair amount of time, and I only created the project, stitched it, and then did the cover page. So I misjudged how much spare time I'd have to work on this at Christmas. And then now, I have too many other things on the go with family stuff. So I can't make all the pages. So I figured you guys would be okay to just watch this over a couple of videos because I think it's going to turn out to be a really cool project. But I will be honest with you, I have no idea what I'm doing. I had no rhyme or reason as to what I'm doing here other than I knew I wanted to use this collection. So this is the Paper Rose Enchanting Christmas collection. There is the little die cuts you just saw me pop out. Those are embossed. They're beautiful. They have this really cool shimmer and shine that you will see when I tip it in the light at the end. And then the other piece, the little house, that is from the cut aparts, which I cut myself. So that little container you can see kind of up in the top right hand corner, those are all little images from that I've cut out. And then I brought in a piece of Tim Holtz collage paper. This is the collage paper that's completely white. You could do whatever you wanted to it. I just wanted it for texture in the background. And I kind of crinkled it up so that it had lots of really cool interest. And then I brought in this piece of, I believe it's chiffon ribbon in kind of a creamy color. And I just thought that it was really pretty and made a great base for this house that I had fussy cut out before. So this, honestly, guys, I'm just going to play. And I think that this turned out pretty cool. You'll have to tell me your thoughts because, of course, it's always hard to judge your own projects. And I tend to be a bit of a critical person on my own projects. But I think that it turned out pretty neat, and I'm really excited to see what to do with the other ones. I have a couple of different ideas. I don't know what's going to happen. I pulled out some random dies that I thought it would be fun to play with this. So that's kind of what I'm thinking, but honestly, I have no idea what direction this is going to go. It's just going to be a really fun project that I can kind of sit down and chip away at, and it might take us, 2 or 3 videos to kind of complete, but really, really fun. And you could literally use any paper pad for this. You don't have to use the one I'm using unless you're in love with it as much as I am, in which case pick it up while you can, because it is, a little bit of an older paper pad, but you could use any paper for this. This is just what I had on hand. I've kind of started falling in love with pattern paper, which is kind of funny because I generally don't use pattern paper except to make envelopes. But I'm kind of falling in love with it. So I've been trying to find more and more projects that I could make with it so that I could use it, because I don't want it to just sit in my collection, though that is tempting because, pattern paper is stunning, but I really want to use it. So I'm kind of trying to find projects that I could use to use my pattern paper with. And then as this cool added embellishment, because I can have as much dimension as I want, I brought in a Buttons and More snowflake and then a Tim Holtz Adornment snowflake charm just to sit on top of that. Anything that I can link, I will link down below, but some products I've had in my stash for a long time and they just might not be available. So what I can link, I absolutely will. But if you don't see it down there, it's probably because it's not something you can buy anymore. But I will try to find something that's similar so you can check it out if you want to. And then I really wanted to add some lettering to this. So I brought in the Tim Holtz, I believe it's the Alphanumeric Theory die set. And I'm going to cut out Winter Wishes and I'm going to put it up at the top because this project doesn't have to be Christmas related. It could be, I'm kind of leaning towards winter more so than Christmas, but it could be, whatever you wanted it to be based on whatever paper you have. And here I have that same glitter cardstock and it didn't cut quite all the way through, so I'm going to run it through my little Sizzix Sidekick another time just to make sure that I do get it to cut through that. And then I dump all my letters into my little green bowl so that I have them kind of sitting there together. But this die set is really neat in as much as it has 2 sets of fonts. One's like, I call them uppercase and lowercase, but they're all uppercase letters. It's just that one's bigger than the other, size wise. And then you have these little like dashes that you use to put under the letters that are smaller to make them the same height as the bigger letters. You're going to see it here in a second when I actually use it, because I don't know if I'm describing that really well, but it's a really neat font, and it's one of my go-tos when I go to add lettering to things, because I just think it looks neat. Here you can see that I'm actually using it. I'm going to adhere winter wishes to the top. And as you see, I did use that white glitter cardstock because this is a, winter-y project, and I feel like I can use glitter up to the, to my heart's content, because there's, there's no wrong way to use glitter in a wintry, Christmassy project. So I'm pretty excited about that. So this is going up on Christmas Day. So if you've joined me on Christmas Day, Merry Christmas to you. If you celebrate it, if not, I hope you're having just a wonderful day. It is a Monday, so hopefully you don't have to go to work. If you're, well, it depends. If you're in my industry, you would have to work, but hopefully you get the day off and you get to do something fun with your family or with your loved ones or with your cat, whatever. Doesn't really matter. So hopefully you're having a great day. I am going to be with my family, so that's always lovely. I'm really excited. We get to have my mom makes the big turkey dinner, so that's really exciting. I love turkey dinner. It is like one of my favorite meals because we only get it twice a year, usually Thanksgiving, which for Canadians is in October, and then of course Christmas, which is in December. And so I only get it twice a year. So I'm always incredibly excited to have turkey dinner because it's all the fictions. Mom makes everything. So I am always really, really looking forward to it. And I love spending time with my family. If you've been with my channel, you would know that I'm very close to my family. So any excuse to spend time with them is, the best thing ever. So I am really looking forward to spending the day with my family. I go back to work on the 26th, sadly, but I do get this little bit of time with my family. So that's wonderful. So hopefully you guys are having a great day. Do you celebrate Christmas? And if you do you have any traditions? I'd love to hear about them. I know, everybody has kind of different traditions that they do on Christmas and whatnot. And one that I've had with my family since I was a child was that Christmas takes all day. So, you get up and now I'm an adult, obviously, but when I was a child, my parents would have a cup of coffee and we would open our socks and everybody took a turn. So nobody, you got to watch and see what everybody got. So you kind of took turns opening gifts, and then Mom and I would make breakfast, which is always like pancakes and tenderloin, little like patties, like pork tenderloin, little patties. And we have now that I'm an adult, we have mimosas, and then we clean up from breakfast and we open our gifts, and then Mom, gets the turkey on. Like, it's a whole day. Christmas lasts easily from, 8:30, 9 a.m. until you're finished dinner. So like 6:30, somewhere in there. And then usually we hang out and kind of just like finish hanging out. So it's just a cool, I love it. As a child, it was a little frustrating. But as an adult, I think it's just amazing because we spend the whole day together, and it's something I'm very thankful for. So I really love that. But I'd love to hear if you guys have a specific tradition that you celebrate for Christmas, because it's always kind of fun to hear what other people do. But yeah, that's kind of it. I mean, you saw me adhere down my winter wishes, and now you can kind of see what I meant, why the littler letters have just that little dash that you put underneath them to make them the same height, so they all line up. Not that my letters are all perfectly straight, but I don't think that takes away from it. I think that this is still a really cool design and a really fun idea. So I'm having a lot of fun with it. And then I did bring in these two other snowflakes. These are from Simon Says Stamp. They are the Harmony snowflakes. It's a set of 3, but I only use 2 because I already have 3 snowflakes. So that gives me my 5 snowflakes. And just because I wanted to add a little more of that white glitter cardstock across the front. But this is what I mean when I said, like, this took me a little while, and I underestimated how much time I would need for this project. So hopefully you guys don't mind kind of picking at this project until we're completely finished it. So it might take me a few videos, but hopefully you guys don't mind watching that and you're enjoying these kind of different projects that I've been doing, because the bullet journal one went up on Friday or Thursday last week. So I hope that you guys enjoyed that one. If you checked it out, thank you so much for checking it out. I really appreciate all of your support on my many random endeavors. I just kind of like to have fun on this channel and I'd like to do a few different things in 2024 and just try some other stuff. So this is as far as I got on this project today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope that you'll leave me a comment and tell me what you think about this, and consider subscribing if you haven't already. I would love to have you as a part of my channel. Thank you so much, guys, and I hope that I see you again soon, and I hope that you're having a wonderful Christmas or just a wonderful day. I'll see you soon, guys. Bye-bye.